Love, peace, and salutations. My name is Michael J. Turner, the Southwest Shaman, the Earl of Arizona. You are now shining with the Arizona sun. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here, which is wherever you're at. Come with love from Arizona. This is StereoPHX 888, channel about personal development, growth on YouTube, and how I'm changing my life from low vibe to high vibe. And I realized that I'm at a place where I'm at right now because of I have been placed here not only because where I'm at is a catalyst for my own change. It's a safe place where I'm actually able to self-analyze and redesign myself, but there's other purposes behind it that I've realized, and maybe this is something maybe this is something you can use. You know? Because I realize that I'm where I'm at right now, so I can learn certain emotional intelligence skills, certain abilities of interaction, like with my family, that I normally allow to take me into a certain place emotionally, that I shouldn't, because I should never take it personal, and I should be above all those things. Because regardless of what someone says, it doesn't necessarily mean anything for you or me unless I allow it to, unless you allow it to, unless you've decided that it does, unless you've decided that it will. Because in the moment, unless it's like a direct, that the words that are said have a direct effect on the immediate outcomes to follow that conversation, the words could be just an opinion stated. The words could be just words in the moment. Maybe what they're saying has nothing to do with me. Yeah. Here's the problem that I found with one of my family members in particular, and you may have this person amongst your ranks as well. I feel like there should be something called last word-itis, or what is it, like, I don't know, that's the only one I could think of at the top, because there's all sorts of different medical terms you could toss around in that. But if that's something that you are someone that practices unconsciously, right? Like, I don't tend to do that, right? I try to never push to have the last word in an argument or in a conversation, because it can lead to an argument, or basically it irritates me. But sometimes the person who has the last word itis, it can be a trigger, right? To where you wanna, they're pushing you to continue to try to, especially if they have the wrong idea. And then, so when they continue to get the last word and it's totally off base, it actually draws you in to continue to get the last word again. And I thought about it, like, this is something that happens too often. So I should not allow this. I should not allow myself to be drawn into this thing, this person that has this disposition that I'm titling last word itis. Someone put it like this the other day, man. They said, I know myself far too well for you to ever offend me. I like that. I like that, man. That means that when they're being triggered, they're already aware of it, so they can alchemize that and deal with that in the moment, because they know themselves that well. So that gives me something to shoot for. that gives me something to shoot for as far as like this personal development thing, this abstract personal development thing that I do here. This is what I do as the Southwest Shaman, because it turns out that is the path that I've been pushed to get on for a long time. But looking back in the past, as historically, it seems as though it's something that it has significance, like in my lineage. It seems as though yours too, perhaps. I mean, because the idea of it is being a healer, and that's always going to start with, you know, it's always going to start here. What is Jesus pointing to in those pictures? Pointing to the heart. But so it's like science is always proving what has already been established, but it's so weird. But it's the heart, man. There's so much to all the old phrases and sayings, you know, like from the bottom of my heart, or you know, it broke my heart. All these things, like a cold, like a black heart. Because, I mean, I learned a while back that the organs have memory and trauma is stored in them. But then I started to learn more. I started to learn about the electromagnetic nature that is the human, and that we have energy centers, and that our spine is essentially, and the nervous system is essentially a freaking antenna, and that the heart is magnetic, and the brain is electric. It's like, all right, and if these concepts are new to you, like I say in many of my videos, don't believe me, look them up for yourself. Now I got you having to go study some shit, because if you really want to know, now you have to go look into it, and then you can come back over here to StereoPHX 888 and be like, yo, I heard it over here. But here's the proof of this, that you are what I'm describing. You may not remember this, because if you're younger than me, you may not remember antenna TVs, or if you're you know what I'm saying, or maybe you just never had to have that experience. But an antenna TV will, like, the transmission of the channel, like, it'll come in better based on where you're standing in the room. That's because you're conductive. Yeah, because there's water in you. There's water in you. You know? End of the day, man, all these things I'm dealing with, this is the main thing that I moved, the main mental space that I've been able to move into, that's allowed me to make the changes, or started the ball rolling on the changes in my life. Because my experiences are so many, right, that I had become defined by them, and the survival mode thing was absolutely my way of life. But, and I, like, a whole goal of mine had to be to get out of stop trying to just survive and start trying to thrive. And the way to do that was to stop working against myself, because in the essence, when it boils down, like, I was just making life so difficult on myself. There's no reason to continuously do something that's not working, or to focus on things that aren't working, or what I don't have. I started to focus on what I do have. I started to focus on what is working, and taking comfort in the fact that, taking comfort in the knowledge that it doesn't take big changes to yield big results in the long run. Because think about it, man. If I did the same thing for the course of a year, of course things will stay the same, especially in the next year if I continue to do the same things. But if I change just a few things, it could even be in 6 months or 3 months that the changes start to become very apparent. Excuse me, by the way. I ain't even shame nothing. It is what it is. But look, this is the beautiful thing. And then here's the other thing. Falling in love with the process. Because detaching from the end result allows me to be in the moment and stack up wins along the way, because I'm actually consciously seeing how I'm accomplishing things along the way and building it up, instead of just like trudging through trying to get to the end and missing the whole journey. Just like that phrase goes, it ain't about the destination, it's about the journey, right? So man, my life, what can I share about it? So much. When it comes down to it, I've been through a number of experiences, any of which could have broke an individual and sent them into a position in life where they just give up on themselves because of the way the outside world stacks up against you. Well, I'm here to tell you that something you probably don't want to hear. I'm the designer of all that. I have God and the devil within me. So, and the only thing I can control is myself. And if that ain't enough of that concept of just only being able to control yourself to explain everything to you, because look, isn't it just like irritating as hell when somebody won't get with the program that you have laid out? Like they won't cooperate, or they won't behave the way you want, or react the way that you think they should, or even just carry out things, simple things, the way that you would, right? Well, you gotta get used to that, and you gotta accept that, because the only thing that I can control is me. I had to, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's almost something, take comfort in it, because now I don't gotta worry about nothing, nobody else. What they do, inconsequential, because I can only control me. I can suggest things. That's why I'm not here to tell you what to do. I can't save you, man. I can't. I can only save myself. Makes my burden a little lighter, but I can see, at the end of the day, I can be an example. I could be an example of what not to do, and I can be an example of how to flip that around. Because that's what this channel is about, man. This channel is about alchemy in the essence. This channel is about the skill that I've earned and I had to suffer for, based on my own choices, my own choosing, the path I chose, you know. But see, I already had this ability in me to go into whatever situation and still find like pieces of light and information within them, and people, and like, and empathy, and all sorts of stuff, man. It's all been an adventure, and it's included prison time. I've been to more treatment centers than I can count. I've done a lot of stuff in the street, man. You know, I've been shot in the face. You know, plenty of family death, toxic relationships. You want to talk about that? You want to talk about going to college? Did that? You want to talk about working job? The workforce? Did that. Construction, working at warehouses, working pizza delivery. At the end of the day, I'm a certified peer support, because I realized one thing, man. when I learned what that was about, because all those things are great, and I'll always have a lot of skills based on all the jobs I've held. But all the other things that have occurred in my life that have occurred for me, become valuable as a peer support, because my unique experience makes me a specialist in those areas, because I've experienced it firsthand, dealt with it, came out of it, and came out on top of it. That's what makes my knowledge unique and valuable for you. Because if you ain't been there, well, I have. And my only job is to help you figure out what you want to do. I can't tell you because I don't know the specifics, and chances are you won't really reveal everything to me anyway. So what we can do is have a conversation, and I can help you uncover something that you maybe haven't thought of before, a perspective on yourself, a perspective on the situation. I can share of my experience, because chances are, I may have been there. Shit, I fell asleep in a bank one time trying to cash a bad check. Woke up to the detectives, went to jail that day. Got out. Some of the people I was running with had ransacked my vehicle. Ransacked means they stole everything out of my car. This is after I got back from being up north at Payson, slanging and banging up there, getting crazy. I don't know, man. This stories, I call them stories of hedonism, from the streets, from the calle. That's the streets in Espanol. Got plenty of those. But at the end of the day, all those things led me to this understanding that I had to become like Iceberg Slim. I had to become like Danny Trejo. People who alchemized their life, people who took their experience and made it valuable because of what they were able to use, how they were able to use it to give back to other people. That's what this is about. Iceberg Slim, if you don't know who he is, he wrote the book Pimp, which is worldwide. The man took his life, put it to paper, stories, became a very well-known author. He lived it. He lived that shit, though. So, yeah, with that, man, I'm going to let you go. Until next time, my name is Michael J. Turner. I'm the Southwest Shaman, the Earl of Arizona. Peace.